Picture this, it's the year 1500 and you need surgery. The doctors hand you a stick, says bite down hard, and then comes at you with a saw. Aches. But don't worry, we are about to embark on a wild, wacky journey through time to see how anesthesia transformed the nightmare of surgery into something as relaxing as a good nap. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the story of how anesthesia went from non existent to state of the art. Welcome to the ritual beginning, where surgery was more like a medieval torture session. The ancient Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans had their pain management tricks. Ever heard of opium? Yep, they used that, but it was more like a good luck charm than a real painkiller. And if opium did not cut it, they had you a strong drink, wine, beer, whatever was on hand. If that did not work, there was always the trusty stick to bite down on, or in some cases, a good old fashioned bong on the head. Nothing says pain relief like knocking someone out cold, right? The reality was the surgery was often a last resort because the pain was so intense and many patients did not survive the trauma. So it's safe to say we had a long way to go. Jumping ahead to the Renaissance, the time of Leonardo da Vinci, Galileo, and all those other guys with big brain and big beards, medicine was getting more advanced and doctors were desperate for a way to make surgery less well terrifying. Enter Paracelsus, a Swiss physician with a failure for experimentation. In the 1500s, he started playing around with ether, an alcohol-like substance that could knock you out. It was not quite ready for prime time, but he was on the something. Ether just needed a few hundred more years to hit the big leagues. Now, let's fast forward to the 19th century, the true golden age of anesthesia. Imagine a world where surgeries were still terrifying but with a glimmer of hope on the horizon. In 1846, a dentist named William T.G. Morton gave the world a gift, the first public demonstration of ether anesthesia. Picture it, Boston, Massachusetts, a room full of skeptical surgeons and a patient about to undergo neck surgery. Morton administered ether and the patient drifted off to sleep like he just settled in for a nap. The surgery goes off without a hitch, and when the patient wakes up, he has one question: when do you start? The crowd goes wild, and suddenly surgeons everywhere want to get their hand on this miracle gas. Ether became the talk of the town, and surgery was never the same again. But wait, ether was not the only game in town. Around the same time, nitrous oxide, better known as laughing gas, was making the round at high society parties. People were inhaling it for fun and giggling uncontrollably. Imagine a room full of people just laughing their head off, no pain, just pure joy. Dentist got wind of these and thought, hey, if it makes you laugh, maybe it will make a tooth extraction less terrifying. And so, laughing gas became a go to for dental procedures. Not only did it easy the pain, but patients were having a great time. Surgery was becoming almost enjoyable. Across the pond in the United Kingdom, something regal was happening. Chloroform was the latest craze, and it quickly gained the royal seal of approval. Queen Victoria herself used chloroform during the birth of her eighth child in 1853. If it's good enough for the queen, it's good enough for everyone, right? But chloroform was not without its risk. It was a bit of a double edged sword. While it was incredibly effective, it was also dangerous in the wrong hand. Too much chloroform, and well, let's just say it was a permanent nap. Now let's step into the 20th century, where anesthesia truly came into its own. This was the era of discovery, where scientists and doctors were perfecting the art of putting people to sleep safely. New anesthetics agents were developed like halothane in the 1950s, which offered better control and fewer side effects. Anesthesia machines became more advanced, allowing doctors to monitoring patient vital signs closely, making sure surgery safer and more effective. The science of sleep was becoming just the science. And here we are today, in the era of personalized anesthesia. Need a quick nap for a tooth extraction? Local anesthesias got you covered. Facing major surgeries, general anesthesia will have you counting sleep before you can say scalpel, and for those times you just need to take the edge off. There always sediation, just a little something to make you feel like you are floating on a cloud. Anesthesiologists are now highly trained professionals who know exactly how to tailor the experience to each patient needs. They are like the sleep DJs of the medical world, mixing and matching drugs to create the perfect sleep playlist just for you. But what does the future hold? Researchers are constantly exploring new ways to make anesthesia even safer and more effective. There's talk of developing drugs that work faster, wear off quicker, and have fewer side effects. And with the rise of artificial intelligence, who knows? Maybe one day we all have AI anesthesiologist ensuring every patient get the perfect dose every time. We are also seeing advance in pain management like nerve block and non-invasive technique that could revolutionize how we think about surgery and recovery. The future is bright and sleepy. So, there you have it, the wild, wacky, and wonderful journey of anesthesia from the ancient days of biting down on a stick to today high tech operation rooms. Anesthesia has come a long way. It's the unsung hero of surgery, quietly doing its job while you peacefully drift off to dreamland. Next time you are getting ready for surgery, just remember you are part of long, hilarious, and sometimes painful history. So take a deep breath, relax, and let the magic of anesthesia do the rest. Sweet dream. Oh, and one last thing. Be sure to thank you anesthesiologist after all. They are the ones who make sure you are out cold when the doctor says scalp please.